So, welcome back to Langford's end of season recording. We've got Stuart here. Hello, mate. Hope you're doing well. Let's get into it. Let's talk about Letchworth. What were your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, do you know what? Any local derby is going to be tough. And Letchworth are fighting for survival. So we knew we was going to be up against it. I think from the previous game that we played against them when we were 3-0 up and we were going to make our changes, and then we just had a mad 2 minutes and allowed them back into the game. I think that gave them a bit of hope, a bit of fighting chance to come at us and without any fear. I think had we have seen that game out comfortably, which we should have, we was in control of the first game. I think that would have given them a little bit more of a fear factor coming towards us. But listen, take nothing away from the game. They played well. They did play well. I mean, we had some chances first half, didn't take. Story of our season. They've gone up the other end and scored with a good goal. And then we brought ourselves back into it and it's finished 1-1. It was probably a fair result, to be honest. On reflection, 5 games in 9 days was always going to take its toll, even though we did try and rotate the squad as best as we could. You've got key positions in the fact that some players, they just warrant playing week in, week out if they're fit enough and available. But no, you know what? Fair play to Letchworth. They turned their season around. The last 6-7 games, I think after we beat them, they went on a run of about 5 or 6 games and didn't lose. I think they won about 4 or 5 of them, to be honest. So yeah, listen, local club, local derby, we get to play them again next year. We don't want to see any of the local teams get relegated. So yeah, it was all in all, a point was, on reflection, a point wasn't good enough. But at the time, it kept our unbeaten run going, which we managed to maintain right up to the end of the season.
And that brings us nicely into the last game of the season, Raun's away. So, 5-1 victory. How was that?
Do you know what? It's quite a bizarre one because Raun's away. We've never actually played Raun's on a Saturday, ever. The first time we played them was when they came to our place 2 weeks ago. And we beat them 1-0 in the 97th minute. I think it was Ethan that stepped up and just slammed home a great goal. Superb finish. So we thought to ourselves, you know what, we could be in for a tricky game here. They're fighting to stay up because obviously with Burton pretty much relegated, Irchester, Rushton and Raun's all looking over their shoulders. We thought we'd be in for a tough game, and we just said to the lads, right, look, you're 8 games unbeaten, send a statement out to the rest of the league so that you can try and get playoffs. We had a mathematical chance. So it was do what you know you can do, go out there, enjoy the game, just enjoy the day. Last game of the season, we'd far succeeded where we were last season, and I just want the lads to enjoy it. I know it sounds a bit bizarre, with so much on the line, but I just felt they needed it and they deserved to just go out there, a little bit of freedom and just play. And that's what they did. We scored a goal quite early on, which relaxed us. And then we huffed and puffed, couldn't get the second. And then Joel stepped up with a sublime finish. I mean, he teed it up with his right foot, took a touch with his left, and then just volleyed it into the back of the net from just outside the box. That's a superb goal. Coming 2-0. Second half, we've pretty much controlled the game completely. I think Raun's, their heads had dropped. So, but you know what? Fair play to them. Their lads on the sideline were still giving us a bit of banter. And then when they scored, one of them was jumping up and down and said, "That's the first goal I've seen in ages. So you let me celebrate it." See, that's the fun side of it. But yeah, 5-1, comfortable victory. We finished 9 games unbeaten, winning 7 out of that, joining the other 2 against Buckingham and Letchworth. So yeah, you know what? We missed out on playoffs but I tip my hat to the lads. They've been superb, absolutely superb since October. So yeah.
Well, brilliant end to the season. I know it wasn't quite what we wanted, just a few points off the playoffs. What are you going to take into next season? Like the good points and the bad points. What have we learnt towards the business end of the season, or throughout the rest of the season?
I think from a coach's point of view, it's a tough one because I actually thought we played well all season, even though the first 2 months we were just killing ourselves in games right towards the end. From the players' point of view, it's just a mentality thing. I think that they've now realised that they belong in this division and that they can play and beat anyone. Now, we've played all the top teams and given them all a good game. I mean, Chenix have been by far the standout team, and we've had 2 really good games against them. They scored 96, 97th minute against us at their place to earn a draw, and then they come to our place and beat us 3-1. But we was in the game. It was a good contest. So, from a player's point of view, it will be the mentality side that they know the ability's there. It's just, are they focused enough to see themselves over the line? From a management point of view, I think we just need to tweak a couple of positions. We need to have a little bit of strength and depth. We need to make sure that when we're training, we've got all the key personnel there. But listen, I can't have any gripes about this season. You know, we've gone from a minus 28, whatever it was, deficit last year to plus 35 this year. Scored 102 goals in all competitions. You know, the lads have enjoyed playing under us. We have a lot of cohesion at the club. It's been fun. It's been fun to the point where we've got our presentation evening on Saturday, and normally you'd think to yourself, "Oh, come on, well, what's going to go on in this presentation?" If you haven't kind of pushed, or you haven't, especially if you like last year when we was near the bottom towards the relegation zone, it was a tough one to try and celebrate. Even though the lads have given everything that they can, it wasn't enough to stabilise us as to where we thought we should be as a club. But this season, like they've been outstanding. So we will look forward to Saturday. We'll have a laugh and a crack. Hopefully Perry learns to turn up to the right venue. You probably don't even know, do you? We played Buckingham away, and Perry phoned us literally just before kickoff and said, I've gone to Langford. So what can you do? Like, what can you do? But listen, he's been outstanding, so we would kind of give him a little bit of grace there. But no, it's been good. I've really enjoyed it this year. I think the lads have all enjoyed it, and we will take May off. Probably take a couple of weeks in June off. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes at the club, and myself, Graham, and Matt and Omar will try and push on. Look at recruiting players in positions that we feel need a little bit of strength in depth, and the key thing is to try and maintain the core that we've got, because as you know yourself, this is the silly season now. You know, this is the part for a manager which is the most nerve-wracking, because players go on holiday with their mates, they go to the pub with their mates, to play golf, do whatever they want to do, and they all start chatting, and then you just don't know who's going to come back to you. You know, you could end up with 50, 60 players at pre-season. You could end up with 10. You know, it's I like to think with the cohesion that we've got and the trust in each other and the honesty, because we've got an open door policy with them all, that we will retain the majority of them. But who knows? We'll cross that bridge when we need to. But for now, we take the whole of May off and relax a little bit. That said, I will go and watch the playoff final.
Who are you thinking is going to go through on the playoff finals? Then we'll put it out there.
Do you know what? To be honest, the results were quite bizarre. I think had Moulton have finished second, having a home advantage on their pitch would have suited them superbly. But Silby took care of. Oh, where you gone? Silby took care of Whitworth, which I thought would be the case because Whitworth are quite young. But Winslow dismantled Moulton, and I just didn't see that coming. So you probably got to say momentum's probably with Winslow. But whoever goes up deserves it. You know, the table doesn't lie. These lads have given everything that they can for the whole season, and the playoffs is a bit of a lottery. But you've still got to win. You've still got to win your games. You've got to turn up. You know, and the good thing for both of those teams is they've both got a lot of mature players. You know, and I think the average age of our team is 22, maybe 23. But our lads will grow, and that's what they'll aspire to do next year. That's what they will look to challenge. And if we can get August and September where we maintain the level that we left the season with, we'll be up there. We'll be up there with a shout.
Definitely. That's fantastic to hear, mate. Right. What's your highest point of the season? Like, what memory springs to mind as the best memory you've got for the season?
It's got to be my touch at Letchworth. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
I heard you did edit that video that you did as well.
No, I didn't edit it. Matt edited it. Highest point. Do you know what? It's not actually a specific point. It's after we got the lads together and had a chat with them and explained to them that their abilities there, that the mentality needed to change. The joy and the pride in watching them apply themselves and the way that their attitude changed. Because they suddenly dawned onto them, you know what? We're in this division for a reason. We shouldn't accept losing, and mediocrity should never, ever, ever be in our equation. So that's probably my high, watching how they responded and how they adapted to how myself and Graham really wanted them to play and push themselves forward. So, yeah, that's probably it.
And we'll go for the low moments, obviously.
No. Sorry. Let me cut you. My highest point for Graham has got to be, we was playing a team, I won't mention the name of the team, and they're about to make a sub, and Graham shouted out, "Oh, don't take him off, he's our best player." And I honestly rolled up crying. It was one of them moments like, oh no, it was just funny. Even their coach found it funny. So, it was good. Go on, what was you going to say? Sorry, buddy.
What's the lowest moment of the season? I know there's been lots of highs, but there's got to be one moment where...
Do you know what? It's hard to pinpoint a low, because I think I'm a firm believer that when a player is giving you 90 minutes, even if he's having a stinker, he's still got himself out of bed to come and play for you and to do what he feels he can do. And we won't always get it right every game, week in, week out. So it's tough to say to pick on a low. I probably would say losing games in the last minutes, where we'd been more than capable of seeing a game out, and we did it on 4 or 5 occasions. The absolute lowest point, without a shadow of a doubt, was the refereeing at Long Buckby. It is by far the worst refereeing that I've ever been involved in at football, at any level. So we won't go into that because I'll end up getting in trouble. But it was abysmal. So I'm not going to swear, but yeah, it was terrible. So, right. But no, it's been enjoyable, put it that way.
Good, I'm glad, mate. Right, so that is it. We are done as Langford for the season. Thank you for your time and effort. Go and enjoy yourself, and we'll get back to the new season, pre-season. We've got some big plans coming. Fingers crossed it's all going to go well. And